What's on my mind? Drink a little wine, get a little high, spend money and sometimes, sometimes, what's on my mind?
Welcome back to Glastonbury Tournament 2018. As ever, it's Benjamin Rees here with you on the commentary. If I could make my commentary minions bring my Twitter handle up on the screen, that would be most appreciated. Joining us just a brief period of time into the plate final, currently 1-1 between Bream and Picnic. Bream in red and Picnic in white. Sophomore just about keeping it alive there. Shooting deep, and that is going to go to no one all the way out of this sideline. Obviously not what they had in mind there. So it's we brought in from the sideline. Looking deep towards the centre of the pitch. Goes with a high release down this sideline. Inbounds. Into the middle. Oh, lovely little scuba there. Had the space and the separation to put it in. Oh, that's going to go high into the air. And what would be normally a difficult catch when you're that tall is actually not that difficult at all, which is basically cheating. I won't hide my feelings on people being really tall. It would be disingenuous of me. That's going to be a break. To pick a mix. I think that makes it 3-0 at the moment, according to the scoreboard on the pitch. Disc advancing downfield. Big purposeful fake there. Yeah, should we get the disc in the middle of the cup? Advancing this down the pitch pretty swiftly there, Bears. That was nicely done. So they're going to pop another one on the board. Just a little bit of confusion about the score. Will, do you want this grape or not? So the scoreboard on the sideline says 3-0, but that's definitely wrong at this point. So we'll try and get that rectified for you as soon as we know exactly what's going on. No one on the pitch seems particularly interested in altering it, as that shot from Picnic is too deep. So Bears are going to slowly bring the disc in from the sideline. in agreement that it's 3-1. Friend of the booth and member of the commentators union, Kathy Henson, bring the disc in from the sideline. Bear swinging it around the back to begin. This is really nice disc movement. Just doing those little popping, weaving passes through the cup. Oh, that one's gonna sit up too high for the receiver. Picnic mop it up. See if they've got anything creative they're going to pull out of their hamper, or whether they just go calm. Store count rising. There's a interesting blade. Just didn't see a lot developing during that stall count. In the end, had to try and jam it into the end zone. But the throw was just a lot of nothing, really. Bear's going to bring this to the front of the end zone. Breaking around and again, trying to get that weaving movement through the cup, crashing it from behind. Into these little pop passes. They've got a man stretching wide, deep. But when they've got such a tall defender in the area, they're really reticent to take their shots, and you can understand why. Little scuba over the top, goes out wide. Kathy collects the dish at the front of the end zone for the goal, reducing the deficit to 3-2, but they do still trail their picnic opponents. Still a bit worried about this infestation of flies that seems to be gathering around Will's car, which is pretty ominous, actually. You know what they say about flies and how they tend to swarm around things that are dead, and Will's battery died earlier on this morning. So if anyone could give us some jump leads so we can get Will's car going at the end of the day, I'm sure he'd greatly appreciate that. Although I'll be gone by that point, so I don't really care. Just going out the back of the end, so it's going to be brought in from the brick mark. Big shot going deep. Tight coverage. Did he make the catch? He's got it in his hand. Trying to see exactly what went on. He's going to keep possession. Not quite in the end zone. He's going to seal it in with a saucy little scuba. Love that look. Why waste time playing it around the back when you've got something creative like that? Using that scuba, going it all the way across the end zone. Opening a 2-point advantage here, currently 4-2 to the good of their opponents. It's a big pull, looks too big to my eye. Just about going to land out of bounds. Good decision to leave it. So that brick graphic comes in handy once again. Checked in. Picking it around, pinballing it around the back at the moment, not really gaining any yardage, but keeping possession. There's an over the top to the far side, if they see it. Taking a dump into the centre. Nice blade towards this near side. Players wide open in plenty of space. But no one else downfield. Dishes the disc off. Oh, nice grab to keep that one alive. The throw was a little bit far, but got low to the ground to save it. Scuba over there. Ah, tries to squeeze that one in. Indeed, it's a little bit impetuous. Maybe a little bit lazy. Gonna shoot deep. And they've got a receiver in the area. Oh, lovely stuff. Right into his path. Comfortable clap catch at about chest height, and that's a break. Picnic extending their lead now to 3, and it's a 5-2 scoreline at the moment. See it again on the replay. There's no force, and so he's got so much time to really eye it up, weight it up, and right on the spot in the end. Nice deep pull from Picnic. So Bears working in their own end to begin this possession. Trying to tease an opening in the cup. It's going to pop it into the middle instead. Trying to manipulate those close-in defenders with those fakes. Getting off to the races. Oh, maybe a little bit too much that time. Trying to rush things a little bit. Another pick up on the far sideline. Looking to punch in another break. Oh, this is tipped and still managing to come up with it. Going to shoot for the back of the end zone, and the back of the end zone's going to win. It's always difficult when you aim. There's not a lot of room there, especially with these slightly smaller pitches. So no one's going to get there in the end. Better Bream won't necessarily mind though. They'll regain possession off this turnover. There's a lot of defenders in close. Just goes over the top. There's no continuation though. He's doing a better job of splitting this deep. Popping it into the cup. Again, the continuation's not there. Just about finds it through, scooped up before it can hit the turf. A bit of silence in the air. Nice hammer there over the top, opening things up a little. Little blade there. Looks for the dish towards the front of the end zone. Makes the catch, takes a little bit of a roll on landing. Player seems to be okay, that's good, and the score stands up. 5-3, looks a little bit dazed, but seems to be all right. Whitney had an opportunity to extend the lead even further, couldn't manage it. And nice patience from Bears, working it down that far sideline, opening things up with a big hammer, and the picnic zone could never recover. Big dish is going to go up from Bream on this point, and well defended. Sorry, getting my teams mixed up. Deep shot went up from Picnic, and it was well defended by Bream. You can tell it's been the end of quite a long weekend. If you guys get my drift. Actually, I think I should probably amend that now. Zinging that one through, nice find there. Getting a lead pass, but it's going to lead him out of the sideline, and that's no good. Swinging across the pitch. Just about in their own half. There's going to be a stoppage here, a pick called, I think. Someone's going to retain their positions. Return to their positions. My brain has gone to mush right now. There's a wide open swing, they're going to take it. Sensible option. That's less sensible. They're going to rifle into the end zone. There's loads of receivers there. Oh, gets a hand on it. 3 defenders around him. He's always going to win the height matchup. But it was a really speculative shot. I like putting the trust in your receiver, but you need to pick them slightly more judiciously than that. Nice work pivoting around, getting the flick to this near sideline, going to the ground to make the catch, but keeping it alive. And that's a lovely roll curving forehand. Doing a much better job of finding the spaces in the zone now, Bears. And as I say that, trying to shoot down the far sideline. Bridge came in, but it was really well defended. Defenders saw it all the way and had position. Swing it into the centre. Pick called. Good use of hand signals, letting everyone know what's going on. About halfway through this game time-wise. Game's 50 minutes plus cap. Looking to recycle the disc in towards the centre. Getting it towards that far sideline. For a yardage gain of downfield, not quite in the end zone just yet. It's going to take the pop, and it's not quite on the target. Couldn't reel it in. Thinks about it deep. It's going to holster it for now. Big hammer over the top. And this time going with a high release backhand, reeled in with one arm, getting it back into the centre. Bears opening up the arsenal a little bit now in terms of throwing weaponry. There's a blade. Nice high take that, actually. Defenders closed in, but was snatched before they could get there. with the around break. Do a really good job of drawing the defender out of position, finding space through the middle. Now down this sideline, right on the cusp of the end zone. There's a player wide open at the back if they see him. Throw into the centre. Just going to dish it in. That was really nice anti-zone offense from Bear to Bream. So it's going to be a break, and they're going to close the deficit to just 1 now. Picnic still in the driver's seat, but they are wrestling, having the control wrestled away from them by their opponents. Obviously some tired faces in the area. The weather mercifully a lot better than it was yesterday, but I think it did take a toll on everyone. Even after everyone showered, and obviously having a reasonably late night doesn't help matters. It's a nice pull actually, it's going to go deep towards the back of the end zone. Do a very good job of working their way out of it quickly though. Dump it back in towards the end zone though. That's high release backhand out, and that was really a high release. This goes back, caught with the left hand. His options, just going to dish it off to the centre. Get this back up line, nice handler movement. Travel called. And there's a pick as well. I was going to say, why are they stopping? Travel's not a stoppage, but the pick is. So 2 infractions happening pretty much concurrently. Thinking about the deep shot, going to take it. Got some separation, but the edge and the shape on that disc is all wrong, and it goes out the back of the end zone and hits someone on the back as well. A little bit of target practice. I'm not sure that's what they were aiming for, but take the points anyway. They can tie the game up here with the score. On this sideline. Spacing less efficient at this point. Nice little low release. Inside out on that backhand, getting it through the cup. And they can swing it, gain some yardage in the process as well. Just goes back in towards the middle, dishing it off again. It's going to slow down for a little bit. Nice little scuba over the top.
Jab left.
Player on the far sideline is wide open, calling for it. Can use the backhand across the pitch to get it there. Gain a couple of yards. Using the lefty to get it back into the centre. Recycling the disc really nicely now. Bears not quite in the end zone just yet. Do they force it in? Do they stay patient? Try and get an end zone offense set up. Just working around the back. The player open in the end zone. It's going to catch it, and they've fought their way back in this game to 5-all. Nice bit of mental resilience being showed now, and interesting to see if Picnic can demonstrate the same after having a rather wide lead be snatched away from them. All the current scoreline. Don't know which way the rest of this game is going to go. Sun's peaked behind some clouds at the moment. A little bit of a chill in the atmosphere. Seagulls landed on the pitch, much less appreciated. That's a big pull. It's going to hang and go deep and go out of the back of the end zone. Jamie's going to have an opportunity to bring it in from the brick mark, get a few free yards there. Just checks in. Pass goes underneath into the centre of the pitch. Squeezes a window there. Bears pick that one off though. Trying to get the disc moving quickly off the turn. Oh, tight coverage. Just about squeezes through. Doesn't take the swing at the first attempt. Does so second time round. Just a single coverage at the moment from the picnic D. There's an up line cut there. They chose not to take it. Uses the lefty, leads him out towards the end zone. It's not in yet. Just on the doorstep, dishing it back off and into the front cone. And they fought their way all the way back to leading this game now. 6-5. Better Bream in the lead. And I think they look a little bit stunned out there, like they don't quite know what's hit them. You do always have to be wary of bear attacks. So the ball goes up towards the back of the end zone, is just going to land out of bounds. That could not have been far off. It's going to be bricked once more. They really need to practice getting these balls in bounds. Just giving the brick graphic a bit of a rest at this point. In the middle, and oh, waiting, it was picked off, run through deed, but there's going to be a stoppage. I think there was a pick call perhaps. Underneath pass has just dropped, just bounced off the left hand. And the Bears can take half here. And there were 5-2 down, and this would be 5 in the row, providing they could punch it in. And as effective they've been in recent times, I wouldn't necessarily bet against them. There's an underneath there, working that inside out, furrowing that channel. Nice up line. Looking in towards the centre of the pitch. Finds an option again, utilising the inside out. Fakes towards the open side. Tries to squeeze it into the middle. It's going to stick, and that's going to take us to half. And after going 3-0 down and then eventually 5-2, they've stormed back in this game. 5-1 in the row now. Bream are going to the second half with a 7-5 lead. Welcome back to coverage of Glastonbury 2018, streamed live on YouTube. I am still your favourite commentator that actually made it here this weekend, Benjamin Rees. It's a pleasure to be joining you for the second half of this plate final between Picnic and Bream, who currently have a 7-5 lead. Hope you enjoyed your brief half-time break. I spent mine eating knockoff Pom Bears, although I do want to specify that other knockoff crisps are available as well. And I guess other legitimate crisps as well, but I'm not making money. Come on. So the side from Warwick beginning the second half with possession, taking up a 3-point lead if they can march it down here. That's a nice break into the middle of the pitch, gaining yards as well. Just into the handler running through, but there's no timing on any continuation cuts. Does a good job dishing off with a lefty towards the dump. So then he's going to call for the deep shot. He's going to blade towards the far side. Oh, what a D, using all that length to good use. Muncher being towards having really long limbs and a long reach as well, and it was necessary there to palm it out of the sky. Disc in front centre of the end zone. Going to shoot deep, that throw is going to play. This is a tricky one for any receiver. Oh, and he actually did a very good job. Got both hands to it, and it just bounced out of them. Good done with a little bit of stickum on his hands there. Not that I advocate using any sort of adhesive material on your hands during frisbee. That's probably cheating. Throw blades and flutters a little bit in the wind, but it's still caught. Nice lefty, utilising space on the inside out. Oh, that floats again, and receiver can't reel it in that time, and fumbled to the ground by the Picnic defender. So they're going to get good field position here. Lovely around backhand, leading him perfectly into space. So much time with it. Well, just a little jog down. Time to milk it for a little bit of showboating as well. Not quite 8 maids worth, but a little bit of milk there regardless. And nice stuff from Picnic to start the second half with a break and reduce the deficit to just 1 at 7-6. So the ball's going to go up and it's going to go out the back. So it's time to dig up everyone's favourite graphic again. That's right. It's a brick, people. And with these slightly smaller pitches and with a bit of wind in the air, we've had a lot of bricks this weekend, and probably more than any side would have liked. Well, obviously, if you're on the receiving end of a brick, it's always nice to get a bit of free field position. Turnover there from Bream is going to give Picnic a chance to tie the game here. Not quite in the red zone, but a relatively short field. Nice high release backhand. Getting the disc back. Swinging towards this sideline. So can they punch it in this front cone, or will they try and reverse field? Can't do either in the end. They will cough the disc back up to their opponents. Cutter takes off deep early, but they're not looking for it. It's going to be a timeout called. Choosing just to take a bit more time with this after a slightly shaky start to the second half. While the two teams take a quick break, we'll do the same. I'll rejoin you in a second. Welcome back to Glastonbury 2018. Benjamin Rees here with you on the commentary, bringing you the exciting conclusion of this plate final between Bream and Picnic. They're going to look deep now, but it's going to be too deep, I think. Tried to steady himself to bid, but in the end, the back of the end zone prevented him from doing so. There's no point putting himself through it if he knew he wasn't going to be able to keep himself in bounds. So Picnic will walk it to the front with a chance to tie the game here. Disc on the end zone line. Going to put it, trying to get it space in this near sideline and end up hitting our camera tripod. See if we can get an idea of exactly how close it is. There we are, there's some perspective for you. Just how close it came to the camera, literally hit the tripod. Finds a nice underneath, dishing it off towards the break side. Continuation. Big pump fake, dishes it into the center. Zinged into the front of the end zone for the goal. 2-point lead restored for Bream. 8-6 the current score. Time beginning to tick down on this game. Game's 50 minutes plus a 1-point cap. So we've got about 5 minutes, if that, before we reach that point. Will's trying to destroy all our stuff here in the tent. It's a big floating ball. It's going to stay in bounds this one though. No need for the brick graphic this time. Oh, that throw will sit a little bit well reeled in, taken nice and early. Not going to let the defenders get a chance at it. Low IO through the middle. Across the teeth of the defense. Not that time though. Chomped down on the disc. There's going to be a foul called. Seeing it again on the replay. It's going to be uncontested, so disc is going to stay in Picnic's possession. Fakes that low backhand. Looking for an option, not really seeing much, just going, shooting a expansive but speculative blade down that far side. There's no one there. Try and force this back in the middle. Getting it down the sideline, just a touch too far, never quite had the speed to catch up with it. Picnic trying to work quickly. Get advantage of any Bears plays that might be on the heels. Got it in the scuba grip. Now shows a hammer for a brief moment before going for a more conventional backhand. Nice fun. Taking advantage of the poached player. Using that IO. Oh, just maybe looking a bit downfield. Bounced off his hand. Striding towards the disc. Ready to pick up and initiate this possession. Booted due to go on very soon. That's a nice grab. Bit behind, has to use quick reactions to pluck that one out. The shot into the end zone is on the money. Lead now 3 points, and there's so little time left in the game. Feels a little bit like that might be game over for Picnic. So the hooter, well, car horns go off in the difference. Probably going back a little bit for you there, open the kimono slightly. So we'll finish the point up one to the highest score, so it'll be 9-7 game to 10. So we'll just about rolls out of bounds. It'll be 10-6 game to 11. Checked in from the sideline, boosting it deep immediately, finding a matchup he likes. Well reeled in. Popping the disc back. Surrendering a lot of the yardage that they gained with it, but they're just happy to do it in order to keep the disc in motion. Tries to squeak it through the middle, right in the heart of the defense. But it's still beating for Bears. Going with a slightly offset vertical stack. Throw underneath is a little bit high, but of course anyway. Nice down the sideline. Good switch defensively to stop that up the line cut going. Someone's open deep. Oh, the throw is right on the spot. And they extend their lead to 10-6. So it's going to be game to 11. I feel like now they are very much in control of this game and almost certain to win. But as long as you have to get that final score in, you never know what can happen. So to Bream will pull with a chance to win the game here with a break. And you know they'd love to put it on ice as quickly as possible. Settle in to watch the final. Just coming up straight after this game. Solid pull. Picked up off the floor. Picnic's offense underway. a reset. Cutter's wide open underneath. Oh, and that just underthrown. It was so open, but sometimes when you see someone in that much space, you just get a bit slack with the throw. Don't execute it as well as you would if you put a bit more effort into it, a bit more focus. So this could be the final possession of the game if they can convert. Nice yardage going to start things off, dishing it off up the open side. Poach comes into the middle. Now they're swinging it around the back, and that's just a simple turf. Wasn't necessarily forced by the defense as much, it was just surrendered to them. Now pick up the disc. Got a Poach sitting underneath in this lane. Going to go with the scuba to try and find the receiver. They were open. Found the right player to get it to, but just couldn't execute scuba as efficiently as they wanted to. There's an underneath cut. Thinking about the deep. Going to take it, trying to end it in style. Defender's going to close in, not going to get there in time, and that's going to be good enough to do it. Congratulations to Picnic. They played a valiant game. They straight out to a 5-2 lead, but after that, Bream were all over them. Went on a 9-1 run to finish this game. Green are going to leave Glastonbury with a little bit of crockery, winning this plate final by a scoreline of 11-6. Again, they dug themselves a big hole, but they did the dirty work and dug themselves out of it, and that's what really matters. So 11-6, your final scoreline here. Do stay tuned, because coming up very soon, live from the Tour Leisure Centre here, we're going to have the Glastonbury Tournament final.